Hey, welcome to another metric nut video. Today we thought we'd have a quick look at a client's engine that we've just rebuilt for them, and the reasons why we've done a couple of mods, and could give you some of you guys some options out there if you're thinking of redoing it, or it's an option for you if you're rebuilding your Type 4. So the Type 4 engine was fitted to the Kombis from 1972 and on, and the 1700 in this case came out in 72 to 74. So what we've done with this one is we've increased the litre-age from 1700 up to 1911 cc's. It just gives a little bit more power, obviously, but with the kit that we fit to them, it still works on the standard crank, so you don't have to do anything in the internals or anything more expense. But the great thing about it is it also runs a good wall thickness in the cylinder, which is quite critical for longevity and wear and tear. So in respect to something like the bigger Type 1s, they run quite a thin wall thickness in the cylinders, and that can sort of lead down to reliability or longevity issues, simply because they just get a bit thin and they can distort and wear a lot quicker. So this is still a long, durable option, but also giving you some more cc's. We've also came across a camshaft grind that works really well with the Type 4, especially on the carburetors, and that gives it nice, smooth, torquey power, a great idle. A lot of performance cams really can just make your idle a little bit rough and just not as nice as it could be. And also we found it's quite what we call a quiet grind, which means that the engine doesn't get that sort of typical Type 4 knock, which you can kind of hear, especially when the camshaft really starts to degrade on them, which they're unfortunately quite renowned for. We've also done some mods inside the engine that help with the longevity of the camshaft. It's something that we do to all our Type 4s, and it just helps with oiling and so on the camshaft lobes, which helps with longevity, and helps reduce the issue of that premature cam wear that the Type 4s are so renowned for. The other thing we've done, as you can see, we've got the twin IDF style carburetors in there. These are a great upgrade from the existing carburetor setup. I don't know if anyone's battled with those things. They can work okay, but I think you realize how bad they are once you replace them with these twin IDF setups. These can be, when set right, can be really good on the open road and really good around town. If you've got a bit of a lead foot, effectively you keep stabbing that throttle, yes, they probably will use a bit more gas than the stock carburetors, but the other end is you also will get a lot more responsiveness and power out of there. So we find, because you're getting that bit more responsiveness and power out of them, at the end the fuel economy ends up being the same, if not a little bit less, because you're getting up moving a lot quicker, and it's better control over the fuel into the cylinders. They seem to, we find that they are very reliable. They only require little tweaks every sort of service, and the mixture screws, just to get them balanced a little bit better. And as long as that linkage is all kept tight and good and in the correct positions, they're a great setup. And we find that no one ever really looks back at putting those setups on. We've done a few upgrades because we do find that there is some problems with the air filter clamps and stuff like that, so we do some mods and then paint them black, because it just looks a bit sort of more tidy, not so blingy, and looks more sort of tied with the engine. Because we've got the twin carbs, we've also had to go with the 009 style distributor, because they don't run essentially a vacuum style distributor. We find these run really good in the Type 4s, no real issues there. And also we run a fuel pressure regulator in the back there, because we generally convert to an electric fuel pump when fitting these carburetor setups. And also with the carburetor setups, we generally tend to go with the finish speed muffler setup, because we can run that O2 bung, keep an eye on the exhaust before we really send it out, and note that all down, and get that lovely exhaust note. Longevity, obviously, because it's stainless steel, and a good wee setup. So that's basically what we've done on this build. it's a pretty sort of standard build for us when we find we're doing a Type 4, all the sort of go-tos with the twin carb setups and the vintage speed muffler, but it gives good, reliable, strong, torquey power that those Type 4s are really good for. They just sort of torque monsters really, and work a treat. So yeah, that's us. That's what we do. You could do to your Type 4 if you've got a 17 or 1800 and you wanted to increase the litre-age a little bit. The other thing you can do is obviously put a 2 litre crank in or a stroker crank and go up from there, but that obviously the cost out's compounding a wee bit there, and something to really consider only when your crankshaft has been ruined, and you could price up the price of a new crankshaft or just a replacement 66mm Type 4 one. So there's a few options to go there if your crankshaft's gone, but this is a good one and well worth doing on top of a 1700 or 1800 that needs a freshen up or a rebuild. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll be in touch soon. Cheers.